Welcome back. Whether you're out on a hike or gardening in your yard, there's always a possibility that you might come across a snake. So in with us this morning, we have Dr. Nicklaus Brandehauff from the Asclepius Snakebite Foundation in Denver, Colorado. Nick, thanks for joining us so early this morning.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, and thanks for telling me how to pronounce Asclepius before we got started. That was going to be a mission if I didn't have a time to ask. But first off, let's get started because you're native to the Central Valley. You recently lived here, so you have kind of an insight into what we might be seeing here this summer. First off, which type of snakes are most popular that we might be coming across if you're hiking or just out gardening?
So in the Bakersfield area, typically sort of the snakes that you guys have, you have king snakes, you have gopher snakes, you have garter snakes, and then you guys have rattlesnakes in the area as well. And so they all cohabitate with us. There's many that you don't see, and sometimes people come across them when they're gardening or out on trails or outside walking around.
So are snakes more active during the hot summer months, or is that just when people tend to see them more because they're out hiking or outside more often?
They're certainly more active during the warm months. They typically are most active around 65 degrees and later, and even they try to hide from the Bakersfield heat during the day. And so most typically they're most active in the early morning and the dusk evening type areas when it starts to cool down a little bit more. And so that's typically when people most likely are to encounter them when they're out on the trails.
So if you were to come across a snake, and I'm sure it's different for different kinds of snakes, but what would be the first thing that someone should do before they are able to even recognize what kind of snake it is?
Well, most importantly is to just leave the snake alone. Snakes do not want to bite. They're not aggressive. They don't chase you. So if you can't identify the snake with 100% accuracy, just let it be. It wants to be on its own time. It's likely to want to try to get away and crawl away from you. And so if you leave it alone, there's not going to be any issues.
Oftentimes people won't see the snake until they're very close or until it's too late, possibly already stepping on it. What do you do in that situation?
Yeah, so certainly you can surprise a snake, especially when you're out, you step over a log or something like that. If you were to be out on a trail and get accidentally bitten or get bitten while gardening, what I typically tell people is car keys and a cell phone is really all you can do from a pre-hospital standpoint. And so certainly get to a safe place. Usually the snake crawls away after biting anyway, so you can actually stay where you are most of the time. Call 911 if you have concern that it's a venomous snake, because really the only treatment we have to reverse the effects of the venom are anti-venom, and the hospitals are going to carry that. If you are with a friend and they can drive you to the hospital quickly, then that's also an option, and that's why I say the car keys method. And then the other thing that I always get asked is, well, what if I'm hiking and I'm not in cell phone coverage or I'm alone? The answer is you're going to have to get to a point where you can call 911 in a safe manner. Venom is spread by movement of the limb that got bitten through the lymphatic system. And so try to minimize the movement of that extremity. So if it's your hand, pin it to your chest and keep it steady. If it's a leg, you may have to walk out on it, unfortunately, but it is what it is. The most important thing is to get to the hospital as quickly and as safely as possible.
All right, Dr. Nick, thank you so much for joining us this morning. All really important tips, especially as we head into the summer months. Thanks again, Dr. Nick.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. We're going to have all of that on our website, turnto23.com. Elena, that was really tough for me to talk about snakes, watch the videos over and over. I have an irrational fear.
I can feel you cringing. I'm sure several people at home were like, nope.
I know it's hard because it is all really important to know because there's always a chance you'll come across one, and it's an irrational fear. I've never been hurt by a snake, but the slitheriness, I can't get behind that.
I think it's rational. You're okay.
Many people
share that with you. Yeah.